Hello, I'm Martin Warwick. We are at the Small Cells World Summit 2014 here in Docklands in East London, and I'm talking with Steve Dyatt, who is Head of Global Wi-Fi Solutions of BT Global Services. So what's the business case for carrier Wi-Fi?
So that business case, as far as we see, is a multifaceted one, and it has to be by the very nature of what you need to do. And that carrier class or that carrier Wi-Fi, wherever you deploy that, whether it's an external position, outdoors in a city, open area environment, or down to a restaurant chain or even at home, okay, the business cases are different for all of them. The best you are aiming for is for $100 of deployment and then reaching $125 or $130 of recuperation of your CapEx and OpEx spend. And to do that, you need the functionality and you need the service assurance that things like carrier Wi-Fi will bring.
So how is Wi-Fi being used by telcos, especially alongside small cells?
So small cells themselves will normally have Wi-Fi in them, as well as the cellular aspect to what they need to deliver. And you're going to generally find, I feel, when you deploy small cells, that you're going to be using the Wi-Fi as the heavy lift approach in a smaller area of coverage, and you're going to be using that cellular approach for the reach. Because the one aspect that you also need to take into context is where I'm going to be deploying that small cell, what's my backhaul. I mean, there is no point putting a 2 meg circuit into a very large and dense area that you want to cover, because the transmission services will work absolutely perfect, you won't be able to lift that much through it. So all of these things fit together. And again, small cells deployment is very similar to what we've been doing for 10, 12 years about how to deploy Wi-Fi. So there are things that can be learned as you bolt the bearers together.
How can Wi-Fi be used, do you think, to drive new revenue channels?
Well, new revenue channels will depend on other people as well as yourselves. So you also have to take that into context as well. What you're offering from a small cell point of view is access to the internet. I mean, that is what you're actually selling. Not, you could also be selling access to value-added services, but they are a smaller amount than what you're doing. So in my mind, new revenue opportunities are going to start from coming about how you use that interconnect into the internet itself. So whether that's from navigational aids, whether it's location-based services, whether it's from seamless experience as opposed to a non-seamless experience, and the monetization of that, you're going to start to see models being developed along those lines over the next few years.
And how can carrier Wi-Fi be used to leverage the mobile roaming experience?
Certainly carrier Wi-Fi in the services it's going to deliver will certainly fit with what BT's doing. And later this year, BT is going to be doing exactly that. Start to bond the Wi-Fi domain and the mobile domain itself. So cellular roaming's been going on for years. Wi-Fi roaming in the past has been between Wi-Fi operators, and BT's taken a step back and looked at that and said, well, actually, you know what? The technology and the processes and the service expectation from our end users is there. So we just need to start bolting these bearers together. So later this year, BT will start to look at how you do that and how you deliver those services back to the mobile core, actually making Wi-Fi more like cellular. And reducing the barrier to entry of those mobile operators to those Wi-Fi networks that meet that standard of carrier Wi-Fi, meet that next generation hotspot, as we call it in WBA, meet Passport, which is the certification process from WFA. Then you'll start to see that mobile roaming across all bearers will start to be packaged together, if the mobile operator wants that, of course, and you as the end user will have a better experience.
And finally, how's the technology for carrier Wi-Fi being developed and improved?
Certainly, if you look at where we were 3 years ago to where we are now, things have changed incredibly. The carrier Wi-Fi aspiration to provide a good service is one aspect of what's being delivered, but services, the protocols such as Passport and NGH, when they come on board, will actually allow devices and the person who owns that device to start picking the always best connected. That will start to become a reality between that. There will be policies on those devices, and of course, with the rise of carrier Wi-Fi, you also then start to look at the security of that Wi-Fi as well. So, service providers who are now being looked at by end users to deliver them that service, those expectations of where they are and the capacity they want to deliver will start to become realistic. And I definitely see over the next 2 to 4 to 6 years that this will work first, become more slicker as the technology starts to be adopted more widely across the globe.
Okay, Steve Dyatt, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.